What if the piece that will set you apart in your client's results isn't another technique, but is actually you? In this episode, I sit down with three students from the Birth Healing Intensive this year who reveal how doing their own work, their own healing work, completely transformed their hands, their hearts, and their outcomes. You'll hear how they began sensing more, connecting deeper, and unlocking results they once thought were out of reach. If you've ever wondered if there is more to this work, this episode will show you exactly what that more is. Hello, friends. This is Lynn Schulte, and you are listening to the Birth Healing Summit podcast. We are here for meaningful conversations that will transform the way you work with pregnant and postpartum clients. Whether it is a new perspective, tool, or technique, you'll be able to implement it into your practice today. I invite you to sit back, listen with an open mind, and grab the golden nugget today's guest has to offer. Now let's get started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this podcast episode. And today I have with us a couple of students from the 2026 Birth Healing Intensive program who are here to share with you their insights, their highlights, and some case studies of things that have transpired since learning the material in the Birth Healing Summit. And so one of our first students here is Malika Rao, and she's from Tucson, Arizona. And go ahead and introduce yourselves to us, Malika.
Hi, my name is Malika, and I do pelvic PT at a community clinic called El Rio Health in Tucson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our other student who's taken the Birth Healing Intensive this year is Erin Flynn. Erin, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Erin Flynn. As Lynn said, I work at Hudson Valley Physical Therapy in Hartsdale, New York. I've been a pelvic health PT for about 20 years and an orthopedic PT for the full 30 years. So,
Okay, great.
yeah.
You're in that 30-year time frame as me, right, Erin? I remember us talking
I,
about that when you
I
took
know I
one of my
say
courses.
30 plus now.
Yeah,
I don't have the number exactly. I mean, I
right.
do, but I say 30 plus.
Yeah, I do too. All right, awesome. Right, and another student we have here with us is Elizabeth McBride. Lizzie, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, in my professional world, I'm known as Betty McBride, and I am from Dallas, Texas. I actually own North Texas Therapy Innovations. I've worked in pediatrics. I'm an OT,
Okay.
and I've worked in pediatrics for 40 years. But I've done adults probably for the last 25 and have done pelvic health probably for the last 3 because Texas was a little behind the mark as everybody else, and have treated trauma with cranial sacral work for about 36 years. So there's how we kind of go.
Okay.
So
So, Erin, what about you? What has been one of the highlights of the Birth Healing Intensive for you?
One of the highlights, I was surprised that even though it's a virtual course, that there's so much opportunity for it to be interactive and to really get to know the cohort. Like there's a study buddy assigned, and I really enjoyed working with her. And we would go through the course material once a week or once every other week, and also do some of the guided explorations with each other.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the opportunity to work in depth with the monthly calls with the cohort. And then the most amazing part of the intensive was the one-on-ones with you and Landy. And there's 4 of those offered. And you can use those for whatever is on your mind. I often would start with a few questions I had and then discuss what was brought up in the work that I did with my study buddy or the cohort and dive a little bit deeper, and actually was amazed at what true healing and self-healing meant and happened in those sessions. And I mean, that was the biggest surprise of how interactive it was, even though it's a virtual course.
Yeah. So, Malika, what was one or some of the highlights for you?
Um, One was a surprising thing that I received a lot of healing that I didn't even know I needed.
Oh,
And on topics past just the pelvis, like I received some help with ancestral trauma and that I didn't even know I had, and could feel the change in my life after those treatments or those meetings that we had as a group. Um, I felt a deep kinship with some of my study buddies from the group, and I think those relationships will become long-term relationships. But the biggest thing is doing my work now. At the end of the day, I don't feel drained and exhausted. I feel uplifted. I love all of my clients. I love them.
Okay, did you not love them before the program?
Well, because I think I poured energy out struggling against things that I didn't know how to deal with.
Yeah.
I sometimes would have patients where even just touching their leg would cause pain, and I'd get so confused and flustered and not understand what to do.
Yeah.
But now I have something I can offer that feels nourishing for both them and me, that helps with their problem. Um, I feel like I have answers, and I feel like I
Mm.
feel competent.
Yay. Well,
Yeah,
that's gotta feel
yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's awesome. Can you tell us what was the highlight of this program for you?
Well, number one, it's the one-on-one sessions with Landy and you, Lynn. I got so much out of that. Number one, just that I could bounce ideas off of y'all. But then we did the work, and I got to really feel what it would be like to be in a distance situation in a treatment session. So it was the best. I also just loved the class time because we really got to do the work on each other, and we got watched by y'all. So we got to learn how to really do it. And it was so we could take it and implement it back at home. And I do not do distance at this point, but I would like to someday. And I really feel open to doing that in the near future. And I really just love the camaraderie of the group. I cannot wait for our in-person
Good.
session. That is like, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, awesome. You were talking about the group calls that we do
Mm-hmm.
each month, and you get to practice with the other students and doing the material. And Landy helps me with teaching this course, and we come in and we just kind of give little suggestions or help you out if you get a little stuck. And it's really helpful to practice the material. What did you find with like you learned this at a distance, but were you able to then integrate it into your hands-on practice with your clients?
For sure. I treat about 30% adults, and I've had some really caught up in trauma. I mean, just caught up. I have this one patient, she never talked to me for the first 18 months. It was wild. But as time went on, she started talking to me more and more. And I actually have been able to work with her on the two halves of her body, the male and the female.
Huh?
And she has archetypes for them, and we have colors. And I mean, our relationship since this course has started has grown and grown and grown and grown. It's been amazing. And I've done this on a couple other patients, and they're like, I don't know what you're learning, but this is amazing. It's changing how I feel in my body. And I know it's that pelvic bowl that we have studied, and just being able to get out of the fight or flight by going down into our pelvic bowl.
Yeah, so fun. What do you have any other case studies to share?
Those are my two major ones. Most of my children, I'm this is a funny one. Okay, so it used to be we wouldn't let kids go to the bathroom as much, like they get out of work by going to the bathroom. And
Wow.
so I've actually started letting them, every time they say, I need to go to the bathroom, they're getting into their pelvic bowl. Well, I send them off to the bathroom, and actually they're making more progress because they're getting into their pelvic bowl. So I was like, this is hilarious. It's really working in the long run. So my very, like, I have a lot of autistic individuals. And so it's been just very enlightening. I can't wait to just continue to grow in this and just figure out pelvic bowl for everyone here.
Do you have any case study or example of a client that
Oh
you
my God, so many. But I will try to narrow it down.
okay.
Um, so the clients I typically work with, because I'm a fluent Spanish speaker, I tend to
Uh-huh.
have a lot of Spanish speaking clients. Um, and one of them, and I would say most of them don't have a real high level of education. So one of them recently, as I was talking with her, she had this back pain, SI pain, uh, that she just cannot lay supine at all, like not even for a second. She just screams in pain and has to sit up. And then pain at her tailbone, even with sitting. So she just couldn't get ease of this. And I asked, like, when did this start? And she said, oh, it started with the birth of my child. And I was like, okay, tell me about the birth. And just that weekend, we did the part about redoing the birth.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I guess I get to try this with
Yeah.
this woman. So her birth, what had happened is her husband was so nervous for the birth and what was going to happen that he invited the entire extended family to come be at the birth in the hospital. And this woman was tied down to a hospital bed and asked to push in front of some 20 people. And she
Oh,
felt so much shame and embarrassment that she couldn't push. She was pulling in and trying to close. And finally, the two nurses that were helping grabbed her legs and pushed them onto her body to try to expel the baby. And it worked, but very, very traumatic.
yeah.
And she started to cry as she told me this story.
Mm.
So I said, well, what did you need? What did your body need at that time? And I had her um, go into her pelvis, and she said, I needed no one to be there. And I was like, okay, okay. And I said, okay, well, let's sit in a comfortable position. I'll put some pillows underneath you at your back, and let's go through the body and just bring in earth energy, and then let's bring in someone, a guide, God, a relative, someone to come in and be in the room with us as we try to recreate what should have happened. And she said her mom. Her mom came into the room, and I said, where is she? And she's like, she's got her hands on my shoulders and she's behind me and I feel her. I was like, okay. So let's go back into that room, the hospital room. Go into your pelvis and speak from your pelvis. What does it want to say? And she yelled out, quítense, quitarse del cuerpo. And basically, she was saying, get out. Everybody, get out of the room. And
Mm.
I got chills up my whole body. I'm getting chills as I'm talking about it right now.
Yes.
And she's yelling this and yelling this. And then her arms fly up. And she's like, I can move. And then I was remembering, oh yeah, she had been tied down. She
Mm.
had this like glittery feeling coming up the arms, and she was floating her arms up. And then she laid back onto the mat table. I had to go in and protect her because she had her eyes closed and her head was going to go off the table. So I had to like go in there and like gently move her so she was in the correct direction to be supported. But she continued, and she was like writhing on the table on her back. And she was like, oh my God, I have not been able to lay down like this. I have not been able to be on my back like this. She continued to writhe for another 15 minutes, rolling and moving her arms. And I was looking at the clock. I was like, I only have 10 more minutes. I need to get her up and out of here for my next client. So I tried to close it as gracefully as I could. And I was like, so when you feel ready, I'd like you to sit back up. And she took another 5 minutes, just enjoying being able to lay on her back. And she said, oh my God, I have no pain. That was, I would say, that was like the primo moment, I was like, this works. I don't know what happened, but this works. I didn't touch her. I
Hmm.
didn't go into her pelvic floor and try to maneuver things. I did not touch her, but she did her own healing.
Yeah.
Um, so that was one case study.
That is amazing. Amazing. I love that.
But
And don't
yeah.
you love how much like you could have mobilized her for days
Oh, yeah.
trying to get
And
things.
actually, a coworker of mine who's an orthotherapist
Uh-huh.
had been seeing her
Okay.
trying to mobilize her SI joints,
Yep.
mobilize her lumbar spine, was
Yeah.
not getting any results.
Yeah.
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 Don't you love that when you learn something, then the right person shows up right after learning?
Yeah, that was crazy. Like I would watch your videos and then and I'd be like, this is interesting. Okay. And not even having done anything with the study buddy yet, suddenly like that week, your lesson shows up in my client space. Like, oh, okay. I guess I get to practice this on the fly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and honestly, something happens with doing this class that there's some force field that
Hmm.
you get immersed in that gives you the resources to do the work.
Erin, do you have anything to add?
The case studies, I don't have a specific patient in mind, but
Right.
the way my practice has changed so much is I work with a lot of prenatal postpartum clients, and I have always used the usual tools on them, like manual therapy, massage, Therex, scar mobilization, lifting behaviors. But what I've found with my postpartums in particular, and especially if they've had a cesarean birth,
Mhm.
is is really connect that they're disconnected to their pelvic energy, and that there's a lot of emotion held in the scar that I did not understand before the birth healing intensive. The scars were often sensitive. They would often get teary-eyed and cry. They wouldn't touch the scar. And so I have been able to jump in with my postpartum women and really help them touch that part of their body again and connect back into their pelvic space, which I didn't really have the tools before then to
Yeah.
really help them get back in their pelvic space.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
What is one of the biggest learnings for you or a key takeaway?
So many, so many. I think again, I started this course. I'm a PT. I'm a very ortho pelvic health, go through your checklist PT. And I think one of the biggest learnings was that, I mean, I've had patients, I've been a PT a long time. So I've had patients that get somewhat better and then it comes back and it's always the right hip, for example, and that right hip just won't go away and it's always tight. Or the left obturator is another one. The left
Yeah.
obturator tends to be very cranky a lot. And I just learned that there are other reasons for stuck energy in someone's body that I never fully appreciated. And we learn about the seven causes of stuck energy, which
Uh-huh.
can be, there's many, as you know, Lynn. And I just didn't have that peace with my patients. I didn't know how to go there. I didn't understand it. And that's been the biggest is that when something's not resolving,
Yeah.
you have to dig deeper and be curious, as which is a very so that's very much a theme in our course work is be curious as to why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let the body reveal it, right? And
Yes, yes.
I think this work takes the pressure off of us as practitioners to not have to always figure it out.
Yeah.
Because if we can just ask the right questions, the body and our client on the table have the answers within them.
Right. And Lynn, that's been another huge takeaway is there's a whole section in this course on dialoguing. I have never thought of how I'm asking the questions and I often probably talk too much and I don't wait for the answer and now I sit back and really pause and let the patient answer. and see where they're at. Like
Yeah.
there's always that, well, that's something I've observed is really understanding if they're just talking from their head or they really are saying something I might want to hear, or if they're really in their body as we've learned to evaluate. So that's been exciting.
There's a total difference between someone talking from their head and actually talking from their body,
Yes.
from an area in need or an area that's talking, but yet we don't know how to actually give that area voice. And so,
No. Well, I never even knew. I honestly, I never even knew. I just used to go in, I walked in, I treated the patient,
yeah.
and I knew there was a disconnect with my approach, but now I have a much deeper understanding.
What have you noticed about changes in, you've obviously shared a bunch about changes in your clinical practice and how you're working with your clients. Has there been any change for you in your personal life or how the intensive might have influenced that?
Yes. I mean,
Do you care to share?
yes. Yes, I will not go into too many details. But so when you're looking on your page about the course and it describes it very fully, there's always like the opportunity for self-healing. The opportunity and I looked at that and I was like, huh, I don't know what that involves. I don't know anyone who takes this course, but I came to find out. I feel like the way the course is set up is you're slowly led into your body and connecting back into memories or emotion or a past trauma perhaps and just learning how to process that. And in my one-on-ones in particular, but they were all started my self-work was started in the group or with my study buddy where they're guiding you on just a scan and all of a sudden a memory from my childhood comes up just and then I worked on a big one with you. I had a big limiting belief and I didn't even understand that phrase. So now that we've worked through this one huge limiting belief, I feel lighter and more confident as a PT and in my private life. I had no idea that I was holding on to so much because we didn't talk about it when I grew up. So, and we just didn't share our emotions. So this course has you gently learn how to acknowledge those emotions and then process them in a way that I never even knew was possible. It's a gentle nod and nudge to keep going a little deeper. So,
Yeah. Was there anything that surprised you about the intensive?
Um, what surprised me was really more of the more of the spiritual realm of it all. Because I am a very spiritual person. I believe in God. And really, that has always been my number one theory. You know, people ask me, and I go, oh, no, God is my number one theory. And really, the way we put spirit into everything is just amazing. I know when I originally talked to you before I even took the course, we just kind of jived on that. That was just exciting to me. And that was really the big nod in that I was going to come and take this course. So that really, God told me, yes, you are taking this course. You're going to be, and I've been excited about this course ever since it started. So yeah, it's just, I feel like God is always in my hands. He's always working through me. I don't have to say a word. I touch with respect. I put my hand on top of people with respect, and I don't have to say a word to them. It's God doing the work through me.
Yes, I would say the same thing happens for me too.
And when I don't, when I kind of get up in that head, I come back down and I put my hands here and I just go, God, take me back to that. That is what I do. I ground on my feet and put my hands like I've got a person in between them, and God honors that.
Yeah. Yeah. So cool. How has the intensive influenced, you've talked a little bit about your practice, but how has it influenced your life?
My life, wow, it really has calmed my spirit down a lot. And I know that everybody's always like, oh, you're always such a bubbly person. You're always just going, going, going. But really, I feel like I can get into that pelvic bowl just by closing my eyes and start outlining it. And I can calm my spirit. So I can be that calm spirit. And what I always say, I'm a type B person instead of a type A person. Well, now I'm kind of like a type C person, you know? It's like I'm so laid back, you know, and not much ruffles me anymore. It's really cool. And it's like, it's chaos here in the late afternoon. I mean, we just had 5 children going constantly for about 3 hours, and it doesn't really ruffle me. It never did, but I was more doing the ADHD thing, making sure everybody's okay. But now it's more like a symphony. So
Mm.
that's kind of a takeaway I'm getting is it's really a symphony when we can get so grounded in our body. Life is a symphony, you know, or a musical, whatever you want to call it, you know.
I love it. It's all about that embodiment and that ease and grace and flow truly is the intention that I have with all my clients that I work with. And even my students, I feel like we all should have that ease and grace and flow in us.
Mm-hmm.
That's the symphony. That's the musical.
It
That's
is.
kind of happening. That's so cool. I love that, Lizzie. I love that. Do you have a favorite skill or learning that was your favorite of the program?
I was amazed by a lot of the coursework, honestly. I mean, I've taken a lot of courses, and what we go into in this one, no one teaches that I'm aware of. No one's teaching. I mean, one of my favorite, and I just mentioned this too, was just knowing that there's 7 reasons for stuck energy in the body. That might be why your patient or client's not improving. And I was particularly interested in learning about the pelvic map. You know,
Okay.
that the
Yeah.
left side of the pelvis represents the feminine energy, and the right side is more of a masculine energy, and the front is more of fear and letting go, and the back is support. And putting that all together in what's showing up on your clients is fascinating to just understand it a bit more when you have those patients that keep coming back with a problem in their pelvic bowl that's just not resolving with
Right.
regular manual therapy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to give credit to Tammy Lynn Kent for her beautiful
Hmm.
work, and her book Wild Feminine is one of the required reading books for
Hmm.
the program, and just learning how to implement the map, like you said, is it's super, super powerful. So thank you to Tammy Lynn Kent for
Yes.
that beautiful work there.
Hmm.
So what would you want to say to someone joining or thinking about joining the Birth Healing Intensive?
I would say just jump in. I very much enjoyed your in-person prenatal postpartum class, and I wanted to keep learning from you. And the description of the intensive was a little bit like, huh, like that, that's not like a typical course I would have signed up for. But I think what you get out of it is so much more than I ever thought possible. I mean, I've changed again through some of the inner work that we did, which, yeah, it was just so powerful. And it wasn't like it didn't take forever either. Like shifting a limiting belief that I knew I had. There was an awareness of it, but I didn't know what to do with it. So once that was gone, and I just feel like I'm a better practitioner, and there's so many takeaways in the course. I think just dive in and get excited because no one's teaching this on, and even just Lynn, the way you thoughtfully go through the course with learning how to ground yourself and really explaining what the energetic flow is in everyone's body, and how we show up in our own life and with our patients, with being open-hearted versus closed-hearted, is just that's what's really changed in my own personal life is checking how I'm showing up with my family, with my friends. Yeah, it just makes you think, of course, you want to show up open-hearted in life and hear what people have to say without coming at them, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What would you say is the biggest change that you've noticed in yourself?
I enjoy going to work.
Hmm.
Uh, and I trust that the resources that need to be there are going to come.
Mm.
Um, I think previously I felt like, oh my God, if this is a complicated person and I don't have the right physical techniques to do it and it's not working, or if I can't even touch them, what am I going to do? And how am I going to solve this problem? Um, I also feel like it's not my responsibility to solve the problem. I really have this innate trust in the person and in their resources to come in and help us. Like I'm just holding space
Yeah.
for what they're ready to do. And I think my clients also feel empowered. They feel like, oh, I did this. I didn't go and have her do this to me.
Yeah.
I did this. And you know, after a couple times of working with me, each of these clients, they come in and they tell me what they want to do that day. Like, okay, I need to work on this. And I'm like, okay, great, let's do it.
Oh, I love it.
It feels like it's a it's an easier work day in that way. I mean, granted, there's still some challenges,
Sure.
but I feel excited about the challenges.
Yay.
Um, and in my own life, in my personal life outside of work, I feel this deep knowing of what I want in
Mm.
each moment. And I can say, like, I don't feel like doing that today. I think I need to go have a solo day where I take care of myself. Or um, I need to eat this. Or yeah, something inside has more voice beyond my left brain logic tasking self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's very
Yeah.
different from before, huh?
Yeah. And this is personal, so because we've worked on a lot of personal stuff in this class, my relationship with my mom has changed. Uh Again, it feels kind of miraculous, but did some ancestral releases and uh I no longer feel the antagonistic relationship with her. Um Clearing my own trauma, like my pelvic floor feels alive, and I
Nice.
can bring that into the clinic. That is my resource from which I can work from and trust. Um, yeah, I just feel stronger
That's great.
overall.
I
Yeah, yeah,
I get a sense that you've really tapped into your own personal power
yeah, yeah,
inside
yeah,
of you and
yeah.
can now
And
voice that.
absolutely. And this So I had learned Reiki maybe in college. I did it for a couple years and then I kind of left it. And then when I went to PT school years later, that whole side of me disappeared. It was like I'm research based, only physiology, and if anything is not biomechanical, then it just doesn't exist and it's not my job. But working with you and then doing this class specifically, this intensive, the spiritual and the physical are now
Mm.
meshed, and the healing I see is about working on all those levels together.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
yeah.
What would you say to someone who's considering joining the Birth Healing Intensive program?
Oh, you have to do it. If you have the capacity and you have the willingness, you have to do it. Like it's not just about the job. It's not just about, oh, I can treat more clients. I mean, that's great, but it's healing humanity and it's healing yourself, and being that type of healing, just being that changes everything. Yeah, it really changes everything.
So beautifully said.
Yeah, this is the best class I've taken in all of my PT career. This has been the most useful, most powerful class in all of my PT career. And I've been a PT since 2012.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
this has
cool.
been it.
I
Yeah.
I just want to honor you and the work that you've done and the confidence that you bring to your sessions today. I can feel it. I can
Well,
feel
thank
your
you.
power. I can feel
Thank you.
just your sense of you're embodied more. And
Hmm.
not that I didn't think you weren't embodied when we started the program, but I feel you have access to parts of you that maybe you didn't when we started.
That is absolutely true. Yeah. Yeah. And that is from doing, you're doing the work that you're going to be doing with clients to yourself, and you see how much that changes. Um, it changed me a lot. It freed up so much more energy to have those things worked down. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's continual and it's not done. I think
Right.
we'll keep working
Yeah.
to the day we die, right? The day we leave
Yeah,
the
well,
body.
and we'll keep learning and growing and
Yeah,
evolving, and yet
absolutely.
the skills that you learned in this program are there for life now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I love the connections that the students are making in this program. They are lifetime. I talked to someone who did the program last year, and she's still in contact with her study buddy and
Hmm.
still reaches out for support with them. And so I
Yeah.
love that you guys have that ability to call someone and say, "Hey, something's coming up for me. I need support."
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
that too. And I have the people I reach out to as well because we never know. We're never done. We're never done healing.
Right.
We never know when something's going to come up. So to have that support, to have someone that you can call on to know to get what you need is priceless, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
well, Malika, you have been such an amazing bright light in this program. And I want to just thank you for how beautifully you've shown up in this program and embodying this work and really taking it out and sharing it with your clients. I am just so eternally grateful.
Well, I'm going to take that in. Thank you. And
Good.
Lynn, thank you so much for creating this. This is like this is brand new technology, like finally bringing together the mind, body, spirit connection into what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Malika, so much. This is wonderful. Is there anything else you want to share, Erin?
I just thought it was one of the best courses I've ever taken. And it's not just a course, it's more of oh, what's the word? It's an experience and a course. And you're gonna come out a different practitioner and a different person at the end of it. So thank you for the opportunity to study with you.
Oh, Erin, thank you. Thank you for showing up so beautifully. It's been
Mhm.
a joy to see the transformation in you from the
Yeah.
beginning to the end.
Yeah.
And it's thank you for doing the work.
Hmm.
Because I can only put this out there, but you said yes to yourself, and that truly is what signing up for this program is like
Hmm.
I'm gonna say yes to myself and give myself this opportunity. And you took it full-heartedly. So thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Do you have anything else that you want to share, Lizzie?
Well, I feel like this has kind of opened up new doors. And I really would encourage anybody that is on the brink of thinking about this, really put some thought, some prayer, whatever you do into it and see if that's where you're supposed to be. And if it's not this year, maybe it's the next year or the year after. But you know, who knows? I might be back another year. I don't know.
You enjoyed it that much that you're willing to take
I
it again.
really did. I really did.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's a growth process. It is just it's just you feel like flowers are coming out of you, and you know what I mean. It's
yeah,
it's it's
yeah.
amazing. It's a delight. That was the word I got given 3 days ago. This is a delight to be here, and
Oh,
that is like a cool thing. Delight is just woo.
yay. I love that word. I love that word. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's been a joy to watch you evolve and grow and really come more into your being during this whole process. So it's amazing the changes from before till the end. So thank
And
you.
all of us, I mean,
Yes.
it's like we've all changed. You can see it, you know, every week. And I was really bummed when I missed September because I was gone. But you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
that happens, and
yeah.
that's allowed, you guys.
It was
So
my only one though.
yeah. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. It's been a joy having you be a part of this program, and I really appreciate your time in sharing your take on this program and encouraging others to really check in with themselves to see if this is the right fit for you, because this isn't a high pressured sales, you guys. This is an offering, and if it resonates with you and it's the right fit for you, I want the program to be a right fit for you to be a right fit for the program. So I will jump on a call with you guys. You'll fill out an application as the first step, and then we get on a call together. I remember your call, Lizzie. And then see if it's the right fit for you, and you get to sit with it and see. So there's no high pressure sales tactic at all. It's either a right fit or it's not. So thank you. Thank you, Lizzie, so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you so much, everybody. I hope that you found this episode helpful in hearing the techniques that people are learning and how they're implementing this work in their practice. And I hope that if you're inspired, please make sure you fill out an application and see if you're meant to be a part of the 2026 program. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening into this podcast, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Today's podcast was brought to you by the Institute for Birth Healing. To discover more, visit instituteforbirthhealing.com. To claim $50 off of any online course, use coupon code PODCAST50 at checkout. Till next time, I'm Lynn Schulte, founder of the Institute for Birth Healing.